7 minutes from Austin, Texas is a well-designed home with upgrades everywhere, but it's the backyard that you have to see. If you want the Austin vibe, you love custom homes, stick with me for a great tour. Now, behind this 8-foot brick wall is 2404 Enfield Road right here in Austin, Texas, and you are met with this incredible front courtyard. Don't worry, we're going to come back to this. I'm going to show you this home in full detail because there are so many cool parts of this home, and I'm going to try to cover as much as I can throughout this home tour. Now, we're looking at 3 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. We're just shy of 2,600 square feet, but I can tell you those are the most deceptive numbers that are out there because you're going to see so many fun upgrades that make this home feel so large. For example, this home was built in 1981, but they took it down to the studs, and around 2018, 2019, they did a ton of upgrades. And one of those you're seeing right when you walk in through the front door. Love that tiny pendant chandelier with this accent wall. Behind this accent wall is going to be a fireplace, and then you can't help but stare right out through those massive sliding glass doors. It's one of the best parts of this home. Wait until later on in the video. I'm going to open up that door all the way, and you're going to see a hidden oasis in that backyard with a pool, a hot tub. There's an area for a grill. There's still usable yard space. There's a living room right here that's wide open that has a massive skylight in it, which I can't help but show you probably more than once throughout this tour because it's incredible. I don't even have the lights on in this living room, and I'm going to do that often throughout this video because you're going to see a lot of skylights. But where we're going to start is the kitchen, and while we head over there, let me give credit to the listing agent, Jeannette Spinelli at KW Austin Portfolio. I really appreciate Jeannette's openness for putting this on social media so more people can see what's possible in this neighborhood called Westfield, just outside of downtown Austin, Texas. Now, I'm going to give you the price in a second, but first, take a look at this kitchen. Notice how they did all cabinets along that wall. They did some great lighting underneath those cabinets, and then this window above the sink is bringing in so much natural light. Now, there's a built-in desk area, which I think is really smart. We'll get to that in a second, but notice how they put the cooktop on this massive kitchen island. And some people tell me when they're looking around Austin, Texas, they want to entertain, they want to have people over. It's a very lively, active city, and the way they imagine doing that inside their home is a cooktop here, cooking for some friends, and their friends are right here around the kitchen island, and everybody's hanging out around the kitchen, dining, and living room. And what so many people tell me is in older homes, they don't get enough natural light in their kitchen, and they spend so much time in their kitchen. And I love how when they redid this home back in 2018, 2019, they took it down to the studs, and they did so many fun upgrades in this home. Like this built-in desk has a window almost at eye level, so you can see right into that backyard oasis. And I'm seeing this in a lot of newer types of homes where right around the kitchen, there's like a workspace. And it's because, hey, that work-life balance means sometimes when you're cooking, you need a quick place to get some work done or cook while you work. And that is balance for some people. Let me know what you thought about that. And let me know what you think about that window that is looking out to 2 kitchen sinks in here. And there are so many fun upgrades in this kitchen. But let's move on. I want to show you a quick peek at the pantry. And then around the corner, there's a powder bathroom, a utility room. And then in about a minute, we're going to head to the dining room and then outside. And I cannot wait for you to see that backyard. It's incredible. And to get that being so close by to downtown Austin, Texas, walkable to parks, different restaurants and shops, it's amazing to get all of that in this location. But I don't want to skip over this. Do you see this skylight in the utility room? When I told you earlier they put skylights everywhere, that wasn't realtor talk. That's real. This is very real. I can't believe they put a skylight in the utility room. They really took natural light very seriously in here. They also took design very seriously. I love the wallpaper that they did in here. I don't show off commodes too much in these videos, but I love how the commode matches up with the dark touches in this powder bathroom, and then the gold sconce with the hardware in there with this floating vanity. Absolutely incredible. Now we're gonna head to the dining room, and then we're gonna head outside next. But while we head out there, let me cover some of the upgrades that are shown in this home because there's a ton. First off, they have imported terrazzo flooring throughout this main living area, which looks incredible. I think it accents all the fun upgrades, including this massive sliding glass door, looking out to the chandelier. There's a pitch in the ceiling. There's a butler's pantry that I'll show you in a second. But I do really think the flooring is what ties this all in together. Now, later in the video, we're going to show you the primary bathroom, which has marble extending across both walls. Actually, almost every bathroom in here is incredible in its own unique way. And then the kind of boring stuff, but still really important, they did a lot of energy efficient upgrades like double pane windows. I showed you a bunch of skylights, tankless water heater, HVAC system, new roof. So much going on in this home that they redid to make it look fantastic. And not only fantastic aesthetically, but functionally too. Like, so many people tell me their dining room right now, when it's closed off to the rest of the main living area, it's a dedicated dining room. They never use it, so they want it a part of their living room, so that living room, dining room, kitchen all feel massive. But I think the biggest factor here is this sliding glass door. I can't tell you the feeling that you get when you turn the corner from the front entrance around that accent wall and you see this massive sliding glass door. And I appreciate Jeannette Spinelli, the listing agent's colleague. Her name's Alex. She opened that door before I even walked in the front door. So when I came out to this living room, you could just almost get like a breath of fresh air coming in from this outdoor area right when you walk into the living room. And I don't know how many times I've said that walking through a home where I'm minutes from downtown Austin, I'm walkable to these parks, I'm looking around at where I want to get lunch with my wife after I do this video, and there's about 15 different places I can go to, and then I walk around that accent wall from the grand entrance, and I can see all the way out to this beautiful pool, landscaping, backyard oasis, and I just had to walk out here. And I walked outside here, and I just couldn't help it. I just took a deep breath in because it's so relaxing. And this is what so many people tell me they want. Going back to that work-life balance, people tell me it's impossible. But then when I hear people who move to Austin and they get the Austin vibe, they get the restaurants that are close by to their house, and they get all that lively, active, fun parts of Austin right around their house, and then they can go to a backyard like this and just chill. That is the combination that so many people tell me they want. They want to be in a growing city. They want opportunity, but they want to be able to chill. And that's exactly what I think of when I walk through this house, and getting out to this backyard is definitely the cherry on top of everything. Now, if I didn't say it before, that is a hot tub that we're looking down to. There is a heated pool on that side. There's some steps that go up to this. Notice all the windows. I love that slender window that was in that workspace next to the kitchen. But what I love most about this area is you still have some usable backyard space, and you can't really expect much in Westfield. It's very typical where there's no yard space, but to get all this, an area for a grill, that's actually, I believe, a smoker on the right side, but talk to the sellers. I don't think that usually conveys with the property, but you get all this fantastic landscaping, which not only provides a great design element, but gives you privacy. But I gotta tell you, what I love most is all the effort that they put into every little detail in this home. Like, take a look at these lights that they hung from this massive mature tree. Fantastic. But wait until you see what's coming up next. The primary suite's incredible. But first, you gotta check this out. Hey, real quick, I want to show you this front courtyard because I think we just breezed over it in the beginning of the video. And don't worry, we're going to get to the rest of the home here in a second. But this is very unique. First off, I'm up on 3 steps up, and I can't see over that fence line, okay? And that is privacy at its best while still giving you accessibility to Enfield Road, which gets you anywhere you want to around Austin, gets you close to downtown, gets you to the major highway Mopac. You get some great privacy in this front courtyard. I'm sorry if my microphone's not catching it, but that fountain is super cool. It's very calming, it's elegant, and I think everything is functional here too. I love going out to this, kind of reminds me of Europe, like this half moon accent, very cool. But you got access to a detached garage, so that would be accessible around this corner. There's a 2-car garage door. But take a look at this. The vines running through the walls, running up the walls, the mature trees I'm gonna keep going back to, and then all these windows that you're met with when you get to the front of the home. And then the accents are just everywhere. Like, take a look at this. That is super cool. I don't even know what to call that. It's just like a vine design is what I'm gonna call it. You got some great planters over here. I mean, this just continues to hit, but wait until you see the rest of the design in this home. All right, back to the video. Okay, I hope you love that front courtyard as much as I did, because walking up to it, it's so surprising when you get behind that brick wall and you're met with windows, this huge compound, but pretty much outdoor space, right? I think a lot of people want outdoor space. That's why they come to Austin. They love spending time outdoors. They want to be around nature. They're attracted to the hills, the greenery around here. And to get that on the front of your home with those mature trees, and then on the back of the home, you got even more mature trees. You got this huge sliding glass door that opens up to that space. It's absolutely fantastic. Now I want to get back into this living room area. I'm going to hang out here, tell you some of the accents that are here, but I want to first get to the primary bedroom and bathroom, because this design just continued to blow me away throughout this tour. And it continues right here in the primary bedroom, where I love how they matched some of the kitchen cabinetry that we've seen previously. They turned it into an accent wall right here in the primary bedroom. I love the lighting that's up here, just provides another fun accent. And then they mirrored some great design underneath the TV there. Fantastic. Really well thought out, and this is the beauty of going down to the studs in 2018, 2019. You can do really fun things like adding in skylights, doing all the lighting that we've talked about, but I think most importantly, natural light, right? So many people tell me, hey, they're moving to Austin to get into the sun. Maybe not in the summer. In the summer, you got to beat the heat, and that's why you have that pool out there, right, that we saw earlier. But when they can peel back their curtains, and they got these huge windows that almost start right at the floor and bring in so much natural light here, that's exactly what they want in these homes. As much natural light as possible. And you're going to see that in the living room when we get out there next. And also you see that right here in the primary bathroom. Hey, I'm going to turn off the lights here in a second, and I want you to tell me how it feels with the lights off. Because with the lights on, it's epic, right? You have this great tile that's got some dark and light touches to it. It really provides a fun contrast in here. I think so many people tell me when they're designing their homes or they're doing a remodel, they ask themselves, should we use a dark tile? Isn't that going to darken the room? And I think that proves this wrong, right? When you have it's almost like a glossy finish on this tile, which looks fantastic because it really accents all the veins and movement that's running through it. I think people tell me, yeah, I can go with a darker tile because that looks super cool, and it does not feel dark in here at all. It feels very light and bright. And that continues here in the shower, which is massive. They got a rain shower, they got a handheld, they got a huge bench in here, towels going all the way up to the ceiling. But I want you to see this one more time with the lights off. Very rarely can I do this on a home with the lights off. And even that closet lights, keep in mind that light's in the closet. That's the only light on right now. And I could turn that off, it wouldn't make a difference. You know why? Because of this. 2 skylights in here. You got that hexagon window, which is super cool that we saw earlier. You got tile going all the way up to the ceiling on all 3 walls on this side. And it just looks like one continuous space in the walk-in shower, which still feels light because of that hexagon window that's behind me. Absolutely incredible. I don't think I've ever, there's a lot of firsts in this video. I've done over 1,000 videos, but I don't think I've showed a commode like I did before the powder bath and talked about a commode. And I'm gonna do that here. I'm gonna talk about that commode. That commode looks super fancy. Again, I don't usually talk about commodes, but I gotta point this out. That looks super cool. And then I don't think I've ever turned off lights in a primary bathroom that has a darker tile in it, and it makes it look even better. Fantastic. Skylight in the closet, why not, right? We did it in the utility room, now we're doing it in closets, we're doing 2 in the bathroom. So well done. And I gotta point this out. There are a lot of people that will say, hey, that looks great, but it's a video, right? What does it feel like in person? And I can tell you, after being in real estate for 5 years with 100% of my clients coming from social media, primarily YouTube, it's been the biggest driving factor. I can tell you right now, I have probably the most amount of experience in Texas of people reaching out to me after watching tons of my videos. And I gotta tell you, the videos that do well when I'm pointing out these details of where natural light's coming out, I've had people tour those exact homes, and they say, wow, that makes a massive difference. This feels like it has even more natural light than the video. And this is one of those homes, right? Is that a skylight? I don't even know what that's called. I think it's called an atrium, because that's what I would call it. It's unbelievably big, to the point where I say, you know what? I gotta keep the lights off in this living room. I'm gonna turn them on in a second. I'll probably find the lights, but let me show you what it looks like with the lights not even on. Oh, the only thing that's on right now is this lamp, right? I've turned on one. I don't know why I turned on one lamp, but it feels so chill in here, and that's the vibe that I'm getting when I go throughout this home. Amazing design, lots of natural light, makes you want to get outside to that beautiful pool, mature trees in the front and the back, all this great design, but most importantly, I feel relaxed. Like I feel at peace when I go through this home because of all these things that are in. And we still got a couple bedrooms. Wait until you see the design that's there. But I want to point out, we got 4 sconces on this side. I love how they broke up this wall with some built-in shelves, some cabinetry. Looks fantastic. Continues that great design in here. Really breaks up that wall and provides a fun accent. But what I want to go through is what people say about living in Austin. And this living room really resonates with people who love living in Austin, because I think a lot of people tell me they love the chill, relaxed vibe, right? They came to Austin, they want to be minutes from downtown Austin simply because it got opportunity. If you want that work-life balance, you have that here, and you have opportunity and things close by with that downtown area. But most importantly, you can relax. I think so many people are surprised that you can be close by to so many things like this, but then you can come to a living room right here and you can just chill, right? You have a good chill place where you can hang out with friends. You have all that greenery back there. And I think that's what people are looking for. They don't want the hustle and bustle constantly. They're on their phone. They're running from one meeting to the next. They want to be in an area where they can just hang out, chill, relax, decompress, de-stress. And this is one of those living rooms that reminds me of that feeling that people get when they're in Austin. The feeling they get is they get that combination of work-life balance. Let me know what you thought about that, and let me know if this living room resonates with you. I actually don't even remember where the light switch was, and now I'm realizing I probably missed some of the lights that were here. Yeah, so like the accent underneath the cabinet looks very cool when you have that under cabinet lighting, very cool. And then I think the light switch is over here. And I love exploring these homes with you because you never really know what you're gonna get. And you also, hey, take a look at this. Labels. Hey, that's who you wanna, that's a cool home. Okay, so the sconces are on their own light switch. Do you see how almost the lighting doesn't, obviously it's gonna make a difference at night, but do you see what I mean? That you didn't even need the lighting there? Let me turn that off. Incredible. That atrium, which is what I'm gonna keep calling it, fantastic. And then I didn't turn on these lights either. This accents the artwork, which is super cool. And then sink. I don't think I even know where that is. Either way, you get some very cool touches that are in that living room. And then I think everything continues here in the secondary bedrooms. 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, feels a lot bigger, and it's because of the design, but most importantly, I'm gonna go back to, you might have guessed it, windows. Windows are everything. It's what everybody tells me when they say, the Zillow photos are so deceptive, and we walk through a home, the Zillow photos are so touched up, the exposure is so high on those photos, and then I feel pain when people walk through homes and they're almost disgusted by the amount of like how dark and how it feels like a cave. And what's funny is I love seeing the opposite. When people walk out to a spare bedroom like this and they're like, wow, this looks out to a front courtyard and I can walk out that gate and be walking distance from restaurants and parks and minutes from downtown. I am so shocked that you can get this in this area. And that's the best feeling when you get feedback like that. But it's all about going through the right homes and exploring the details. Details matter, as I always say, and you can see what I mean when we get into the secondary bathroom. This bathroom just continues that epic design where they ran tile as an accent wall. It goes all the way into the shower. You got a
skylight, bringing in so much natural light. Don't worry, I won't turn off the lights again and show you. I think you can take my word for it. Like it's just super good. I think this home just continues to hit on so many levels. And while we're in here, wait until you see the next bedroom and bathroom. I will talk about this area. So this area of Westfield, it's just south of Tarrytown, which is another neighborhood around here. And when I say just south, a lot of the places that people want to go to, like one of the places in Tarrytown is Littlefields. They got a great coffee and food truck. Love getting tacos there. I probably stop at Littlefields maybe twice a week, and not trying to break that habit anytime soon. Absolutely love it. Just a chill place where you can decompress. My wife and I love taking our 4- and 2-year-old there. They got like a little turf play area that kids can play around in and run around. And we've been there so many times. We absolutely love it. And what's cool is that space, Littlefields, which people who travel to Austin sometimes will go to Littlefields because it's so highly rated. It's one of those like hip Austin spots that people think about going to when they want to feel like they're visiting Austin and actually in Austin. Well, that place is about an 18-minute walk from this place, or about a 2 to 3 minute drive. Maybe even less than that, because it's an 18-minute walk. It's very close. If you like parks too, there's Enfield Neighborhood Park, which has got a playground. There's basketball courts. There's so much going on there. I don't even want to list it all out because I don't even remember it. But that is about a 6-minute walk from this house. And when I say walk, Enfield Road is a bit of a busier road. That's why you have that 8-foot brick wall out there with a detached garage that we saw earlier. So it gives you some privacy, but you get quick access to all these different things that people want to be close by to. But also, on my drive here, I was on Enfield and I saw an older man walking and he waved at me and he smiled and I waved back and I was like, hey, good morning. And I'm just driving, I was driving maybe 20 miles per hour on Enfield. But to get somebody that pauses, smiles, and waves at you, it still feels like that neighborhood vibe. And I was like, okay, that's one guy. I keep driving and there was 2 young ladies both walking their dogs back to back. Now I'm waving at them saying, hey, hey, meaning like good morning, just being nice. And I got to tell you, I grew up in Philadelphia and I love Philly. I love the character of Philly, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like that. Nobody was waving at each other, smiling, saying good morning. Like it's so different here. And that's what people tell me when they move here. I've had people tell me in Seattle, where they are in Seattle for tech and they want to get away from the cloudiness, raininess. People get bitter when it's rainy and cloudy all the time. And they come here to Austin. Everybody's nice. People are outside walking their dog. They're enjoying the outdoors. And to get that, and I'll say it for the millionth time, to get that around an area that's minutes from downtown, minutes from all these things, walkable to parks, restaurants, shops, that is a super cool combination. And a lot of people that tell me, hey, they want that Austin vibe if they're gonna move here. I think this home's got that Austin vibe. But you let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments what you loved about this home. Is there anything that you would change? Is there anything that struck you that I didn't cover in this video that you wish you would have seen? Did you like this front courtyard? I want to hear from you. And if you want to see another home for sale, click on the left side of your screen and we'll keep going here. Let me know if there's any other neighborhoods you want me to tour. And I hope you enjoyed this one. All right, take care, everyone.